Today we're going to be covering one of my favorite episodes from the infamous Samurai Champloo anime, Misguided Miscreants. There's so many phenomenal episodes in Samurai Champloo, but every time I go back and watch, this one always sticks out to me the most. If you've never seen it, I highly suggest you go give it a watch. There's only 26 episodes, so you can get in and get out and still have an amazing experience that holds up to some of what I would call the new aged anime. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please let me know your feedback or your favorite episode of Samurai Champloo. And without further ado, let's begin. The episode starts with a preview of some of the madness that pops off later on, which we aren't exactly ready for, so let's just fast forward past that. We fast forward to our protagonists, Mugen, Jin, and Fu, who are on a quest to find the samurai who smells of sunflowers. We learned in the previous episode, The Disordered Diaries, that at this moment the crew is on the way to Nagasaki. Jin says to Mugen, "Let's rest." As we pan over to an exhausted Fu, she says,
"Totally lost because somebody wanted to take a shortcut."
Quit your bitching.
God damn!
Mugen tells Fu that they are nowhere near lost and the ocean is just over there.
It's the ocean!
As Mugen and Jin is watching Fu have the time of her life, Mugen looks over and sees a girl sitting on the beach who we later find out is Koza. Koza's reaction of seeing Mugen instantly let us know that they have some type of history. And if that didn't tell us anything, Koza stating, "Mugen, you're still alive," and instantly following in a cry tells us a lot. As Fu and Jin are confused of who this is, they suddenly get attacked by soldiers who are part of Mukudo's crew, who we also find out has history with Mugen.
Well, I never expected I'd see you again. Back from the dead, Mugen.
As they're facing off, we finally figure out what Mukudo is doing here, pulling off the biggest damn heist you've ever seen. Mukudo tells Mugen if he does the heist with them, he'll rack in a ton of cash, which Mugen immediately declines despite him desperately needing the cash. Mukudo attempts to boil Mugen's blood and tells Jin and Fu about his past and the number of lives he's taken. Mugen takes the bait and gets frustrated, but eventually stands down and walks away.
Hey, wait up! Don't leave!
It is at this moment that we find out an important piece of Mugen's past, which is one of the first times the show even dives into it. Mugen, Kazo, and her older brother, Mukudo, all grew up on the same island known as the Ryuki Island. The Ryuki Island is where they send criminals when they're exiled, hence the episode's name, Misguided Miscreants. A miscreant is a person who behaves badly or in a way that breaks the law or a rule. Kazo states that the Ryuki Island was what she imagined hell to be like. Everyone on that island, except for the children, has some kind of criminal past, but me, my brother, and Mugen were all born there. It was the only road we knew. Kazo hears that they are on their way to Nagasaki and tells the crew the best way there is by boat.
Boat, huh?
We're not taking a boat. All it's gonna do is sink and we'll all end up dead.
I think if Mugen's with you, that you'll be okay.
Huh? You mean Mugen knows how to work a boat?
Of course. You mean he's never mentioned it to you before?
Kazo then says, but that means he's leaving again. Kazo seems to have really missed Mugen, and she thought she might be able to be with him again, just like the old days, and that she wishes her brother was dead. Fu tells Kazo she could understand why with a brother like that, and if you hate him that much, you don't have to stay with him. But Kazo says that she knows that she wouldn't be able to survive on her own. This conversation with Kazo lasted about 2.5 minutes, but it gave us the most information about Mugen's past that we've had up to this point, which is episode 13. Mugen grew up on a rough island, an island full of criminals, which explains a lot about his personality. His parents were most likely not in the picture, and if they were also probably bad people. And Kazo's older brother Mukudo had to have done something so foul that drove Mugen to fake his death and run away. I hope you're enjoying the video, and if you are, please make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate it. We then cut to Fu and Jin walking through a seemingly abandoned village where things don't seem quite right. But seconds after, we cut back to Mugen searching for a boat, but he comes across Mukudo again. Once again, Mukuro provokes him and keeps reminding him about what he says, the darkness you have in that soul of yours. It is here where we get a flashback to Mugen, seconds away from getting executed by soldiers. This flashback doesn't tell us who the soldiers are or why Mugen is being held at gunpoint, but it does tell us why Kazo and Mukuro thought Mugen had died long ago.
Can you speed it up?
Well now.
I don't give a rat's ass about going to hell. I guess I feel like I'm already there anyway. What really rubs me the wrong way is the thought of being killed by you ugly bastards. And I've lived my whole life without taking help from nobody. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you guys help me into my grave.
We cut back to present Mugen and Mukuro, both on horses on the same cliff Mugen faked his death on. They play a game of chicken. First one to pull their reins before they hit the cliff loses. They both refuse to pull their reins, killing these poor horses, but Mukuro grabs a ledge closer to the bottom of the cliff, declaring him the winner. It is here we find out that they made a bet. If Mugen loses, he has to do the heist with Mukuro. We never got to know what Mugen would have got if he won, but I would assume it was a personal boat to get to Nagasaki. Going back to Fu and Jin, we find out Mukuro and his crew slaughtered the village, not even sparing the women and children. The men were forced to fight each other, and the survivors make up the gang that attacked them when they got to the beach. Mugen gets back to Jin and Fu, who are resting in one of the village homes, to tell them that he's going to take the job. Fu tells him he can't take the job because they have to go to Nagasaki, but Jin doesn't buy it and knows that Mugen got provoked into taking the job. Mugen then walks away to go prepare for the heist, as Fu and Jin are very frustrated because of his lack of communication. Mugen gets back to Mukuro and tells him that after this job, he doesn't want to have to see him again. Mukuro then chuckles and tells Mugen about the plan. The enemy ship is going to dock at the beach tonight for their crew to rest. Mukuro's connection, Shidan, who is on the enemy boat, is going to carry barrels of supplies on the ship, and inside one of those barrels is Mukuro. He will then use a bomb to cause a commotion, while a pirate ship, which contains Mugen and the rest of the men from the village Mukuro raided, ambush the ship from the side. After that, everyone raids the ship and steals all the Ryu, which is the cash, and kill any survivors. After everything goes to plan, they will then blow up the ship. The guys see the flaws in the plan, and even though they know they don't have enough men for this, they let Mukuro make it seem like it's okay, because he says it's gonna rain, and there won't be any moonlight, and they'll use darkness as their advantage. Towards the end of the scene, you can see that Koza was in the room next to them, and she heard everything about the plan, and is clearly worried, but Koza isn't the only one worried. We cut back to Fu and Jin. Fu asks Jin, "Do you think Mugen will be okay?" Jin replies with,
He has made his choice.
As time for the heist draws closer, Kazo meets with Mugen on the beach to try to convince him to take her with him because she doesn't want to be with her brother anymore. She states, "I want to get out of this place. I want to run away with you."
Sorry, but I'm the wrong guy for that job.
God damn!
It is now time for the heist, and Mukuro's connection, Shidan, and soldiers meet up to transfer the barrels to the ship. Remember, Mukuro is inside one of these barrels. As they're loading up the barrels, we cut to two different things. One is Mugen on a pirate ship, while Kazo watches in the distance, and the other is a flashback, where we find out that all of this is a setup.
God damn! God damn! God damn!
I'm taking them all out, even our own men. We'll rendezvous with Shidan when the job is done. Kazo replies with, "What about Mugen?" And Mukuro doesn't answer, and he tells Kazo it's time to go. We cut back to the heist where Mugen is steering the ship, and Mukuro is almost ready to blow up the bomb. Mukuro sets off what we think is a real bomb, but it's actually a fake, and shortly after, Mugen rams the pirate ship into the enemy ship. As they ready to hop on the enemy ship, they realize that Mukuro didn't cause any commotion, and everyone is ready to defend themselves. But in the quick cut, we have Kazo rushing to Fu and Jin to tell them that it was all a setup and they have to help Mugen. We cut back to the heist where things obviously aren't going to plan. Mugen sees Mukuro and realizes he set him up.
Mukuro, you son of a bitch! You played me, didn't ya? Holy shit! Damn you! You bastard! Mukuro!
As Fu and Jin make it to the dock, they notice all the chaos that is going on. But more importantly, they realize that they're too late. Well, to be continued. As you can see, Mukuro is a very bad person, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. But in part 2 of Misguided Miscreants, we find out that he gets what he deserves. So make sure you're subscribed so you can see that. I'll have part 2 up in a couple of days, and if it's already up, you can click on the top right corner of the screen and go to the video there, or the link is in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.